Okay, I'm back. I did get Olaf sort of put together. This is a very what this is basically showing me is I think it looks like Tennessee tuxedo myself. But what it's showing me is that the slope of this nose is not quite right. The jaw needs to come back a little bit. And I'm not 100% sure that the shape of his head is quite right. But I tell you what it did do is it proves that at least the EVA foam can make these bends, and that the what will be reticulated foam or dry fast foam will work for the jaw. So those of you who are interested in making a puppet completely out of EVA foam, this is the way you do it. You basically make the joint out of the softer foam, and then the rigid ones out of the parts that don't need to move. I may actually make the bottom part out of it as well, but I think this is all going to stay a harder foam, just so that it can support the nose and the mechanism I have planned for the eyebrows. So anyway, so even my defeats are somewhat helpful. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to remake it out of the upholstery foam real quick, and then I'm going to fix the shape of it. So that's what's on the agenda today. And I think this will be the last one at this size. Once I get it figured out, I'll repattern it and then blow it up to 140%. And I should be able to not the right pattern. I should be able to start building the final one as soon as tomorrow, probably. It should be exciting. The chair keeps getting stuck on this mat. Okay, here we go. Let me clean up my area here a little bit. So I'm just going to use these patterns as they are right now. I'm not going to try to make any changes to them. The way I'm going to learn what needs to happen is by putting it together again and then making alterations as I do that. So the intention is not to make it work at this point. It's to make it work on the next version, or for the next version. And when you're prototyping like this, you get to a point where it gets so confusing as to what's working and what isn't, that it's okay to make this medium one, this intermediate one, just so that you can get the shapes correct. But you should only have to do it a couple of times. Almost tempted to make that one piece, but I know that I'm going to do it for this version, but man, no, I'm not. I was just trying to figure out if I should make that one piece to keep from having to glue something, but the closer this is to the final, the better at this point. And I don't think that the EVA foam can make that tight of a turn. That piece yet. It probably was a waste of time to make it out of the EVA foam in the last step, just because it basically, well, I don't know if it's a waste of time, but it may seem like a waste of time in that it didn't work exactly the way I wanted it to, but it did, like I said, it did prove a couple of things, like it did work. So, I don't need to make any more test ones out of that material, I don't think. But it would have been terrible to make the final one only to find out that after wasting all that foam that it didn't work. But I should end up with pretty clean patterns at this point. So it'll make it much easier for me to blow them up. I'm gonna have to blow it up to 140, so it's actually going to go up significantly bigger. I think I did the bear at 130 or 120 maybe. So this might be the biggest blow up I've done. I got to get cracking on this, though. I really need to get him done probably by midweek next week so that I have enough time to figure out Sven. But really, he's coming along. I'm pretty happy with him. I think this piece of foam might be just enough. I've been weaning myself off of caffeine this week, so I've been exhausted most of the days. I just sleep most of the day, which is what I kind of did today. I'm going to go back around and I'm going to mark all my weird. So these dotted lines show me how I'm going to butt up these pieces when I glue them. So I just want to do that before I get too far in this. I may, maybe that would be a good test. I'm I know a lot of people want me to start using the clay method to make patterns. I don't know why they're so insistent, but they want me to. Um, I might try it on his body, just because I feel like if it goes awry, it's not going to be that bad of a test. I mean, maybe they're right. I don't know, but okay, that one doesn't have any. This one does. This one does. Okay, I want to mark the A's on this too, just because that's how I figured out how this all goes together. Okay, that should get me there. I'm not gonna make his teeth. All right. I am gonna make some pattern pieces, or make the mouth plate, because I had some problems with this one. I just want to see if I can fix that. I ordinarily would leave this pretty big, like half an inch or so. Well, I'm going to make this half an inch, but my fear is that it's going to be too big, because when I blow this up 140%, it's going to get huge. So I'm not going to take off as much as I probably should. I use up a lot of cardboard, but luckily there's a free source that comes to my house just about every day, and that's Amazon. But I guess it's not technically free. So I don't know if I showed you this before, but I did buy a toy for Sven. I love how twisted these antlers are, but at least they'll give me the right number of little spokes or whatever they're called on there. But if you look at the shape of his head, you can see how close it is to what I already have here. Let's see if I can get it lined up. So we're just looking at his skull. Let's see if I can get it close. I don't think I can. You never know as a puppeteer. Oh my gosh, it's... There you go. You can kind of see it. Well, no, that is that. That just... Well, I don't think I can get it lined up, but trust me, the head's pretty close. I think if I just hack off a little bit off the back, it'll be a good skull for him. I also remembered that I have actually some white EVA foam that I bought when I think either Joann's or Michael's was discontinuing it. So I might be able to at least give him a base that's white, so I don't have to worry so much. Oh, I got some white fur that I might use for his covering, assuming there's enough of it. I got it for free, so. I don't know if you could see how much easier it was for me to cut just now. It's because I just changed blades. So if your blade starts dragging, it's probably because it's too dull. So this is the bottom of his neck plug. His little, I guess, the bottom of his neck. So if this is 150%, I think it'll be about, the bottom will be about like that. So if that helps you gauge how much bigger this thing's going to be when I get done with it. I know that somebody was asking me, I think it was, I'm blanking on his name right now, but it was the one who makes the, is making the Avenue Q puppets. He was saying that he was going to blow up one of the patterns like 125%. Usually that's way too big. You start to get a feel for it, but usually you can get away with just blowing something up about 100 and maybe 110. If you do it a couple of times, you'll kind of see how much bigger these things get and how fast they get bigger. Okay. I'm going to be happy when this is figured out because I'm getting really tired of hearing that song in my head constantly. It gets a lot of static electricity built up in these things too. I end up tracking foam throughout my entire house. And if you do the sort of thing you do as well, usually. All right. So that's all the pieces. All right. Oh, I was gonna start gluing, but I don't have to just yet. There's a mouth. Now I'll put the respirator on. Uh-oh. What happened? Okay, but we lost that one. There it is. Okay. I think I jiggled the table, which caused that to happen. Okay. So what these little dash marks mean, in case you're wondering, I just want to remind myself where the glue needs to be applied, because I wanted a right angle where these things match up. And the way to do that is, instead of gluing stuff end to end like this, you would glue it like
butted up on there like that. So that's what that's for. And that's just because I remember to do it. Well, that's the you should be able to tell exactly when I have that window open based on how loud the planes are. Either that or I'm broadcasting because they're always on. They're always going over. Okay. Nice thing about doing all those things at once is that um, the first pieces are now tacky enough to start gluing together. Okay, so I can tell already that this needs to be sloped more, this part. But I'll take care of that after I get the whole thing together. So I ran into the same problem when I did this one. And I think I changed it. I think I changed it at the last minute. I think I glued it like that. But the way that the pattern says to do it is this way. So I'm going to try and do it the correct way this time. And I think, no, I'm going to fix it up. So I'm going to change the pattern when I do this again. It may be one of the reasons why it's not. It's funny because it seats well, but it's not the right shape anymore, and that might be because of this. And there might have been some more compression to this style of foam, the upholstery foam, as opposed to the L200 or EVA. That might have something to do with it. Okay. I'll move along to these pieces. Oh, hey TC. I was wondering if anybody watched this channel anymore. It's getting lonely.
Take this off. Yeah, cleared out here pretty well. Okay. See, these tick marks actually do line up pretty well this way. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we're going to go with it. Oh, wow. Which one did you go to? It wasn't San Diego, right? So TC said that he was Comic-Con busy. Oh, Tucson. Okay, cool. All right, so now you can kind of see him starting to come together. Now I've got to glue the mouth plate in. And I'm going to make it the way that I should have made the other one, because I'm going to put a bevel on it. So let me just do that real quick. Actually, I want to give this thing every chance it can get for success. I actually need to do this part. All right. Okay, get my mask back on. Are you exhibiting there, or did you already exhibit there at the Tucson Comic-Con?
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Yeah, I think you do a lot of great work, PC. I think your mission statement is what more of us should be doing. I mean, my mission statement is basically world domination, but through puppets. So one good thing about the way all this is going to go together is the little L200 or EVA foam version I made. That's the actual version. The actual finished one won't have to bend nearly as much because because it's going to be bigger and the curves aren't going to be nearly as intense as they are on this other one. Okay. So at least I got that going for me. Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna put this all together now. So if you're wondering what these little tick marks were for, it's so that I can line it up with the center seam. I kind of feel like there's a little bit too much foam for the amount of mouth plate that I have there. It's not too bad though. All right. So this one suffers from a lot of the same problems that the other one does. All right. So you can see how the two different types of foam react here. I mean, they both still work, but I need to make some modifications to this one so that I can get the pattern correct. So let's see what we got here. I still think he looks like Tennessee Tuxedo. Okay. So that needs to be more like that. So what we need here is a little bit more foam here. So we need to add a wedge. Okay, the other thing I need to do, which I've noticed, is I need to put a little bit more foam up in here to straighten out the flatness here of his face. So why don't I attack that first? Attack that first, and then adjust this. This is also going to have to adjust like that. So well, actually, no, it needs to go in here, and then there needs to be a little bit more foam put in there. So, okay. So I'm going to cut away this and add in some foam. The other thing I'm going to do, I think, where's that picture of him? The other thing I want to do is I want to bring this jaw back some and open this hole up here. So this needs to be a little bit rounder. Let's try that first. Of course, it doesn't need to be nearly as big on the final one because it's going to be bigger, but and then I think this this needs to come back. I feel like it needs more back here. Yeah, so that needs a V-wedge right there. So let's start there. I love how I started like 6 times here. Okay.
I probably should have treated this all up before I made the one out of foam, but I had out of EVA, but I had some extra foam, so I figured why not. So I'm going to need something about that shape right there. I usually cut it a little bit big and then trim it. I'll stick that in there like that, and that should, I think that already looks better. Okay. And I'll probably have to throw out virtually every one of those patterns I already made, but who cares? You know, I'd much rather it be right than save a little bit of paper. Okay, so now that looks better. I feel like this needs to come back a little bit, maybe to there. I have no idea what to stop. I think maybe my scissors. Yep. Well, that's looking a little bit better. So this needs to come back like so. And it also has to flatten out. Right, so what I'm going to do, it's like gossamer. Okay, let's see how that's going to do. Okay, if it doesn't work, I still have the original piece. I can just jam it right back in there. And I think over this part, there's going to be a little piece of additive foam that I do right at the brow line under the fabric, which will kind of give them a little bit of a forehead brow shelf over the eyes, because he does have that, but I just got to take out that little bit of a lump that's there. And I think I've modified this just about where it needs to be. Hi, Anthony. How's it going? Okay, I think he also needs a little bit more I guess material here in his cheeks. I think of like adding a V like that is going to help him with a lot. So those will go in there like so, and like so. And that'll fill out his cheeks a little bit more. Let me do that. I'm going to keep these things from flying away on me. So basically what I'm trying to do is add more foam where it needs it and take foam out where it doesn't need it. It needs a little bit out of here. Yeah, I'm just about, I think, done altering this thing. Be great if I could take off this mask finally. Yeah, I think this thing is just about giving up its ghost. I don't think I can get it right, but as far as this nose goes.
Okay. So I am going to put a magnet or two in this nose to make it removable for the production, something they requested. They didn't request that the eyes do anything, but I'm going to make it do it anyway. This is two. That's that. Found one of his eyes. Not sure where the other one ended up. Well, that's got to be here someplace, but these aren't as finalized anyway. They're good. They're good to see placement. Oh well. They don't stick to it anyway. Oh, there's one of Sammy's hands. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the other eye. Okay, well. Try one of his eyebrows too. So what I want to do is I want to put them on a pivot so they can go. Yeah, those need to be a little bit bigger. Want them on a pivot so they can go from, up here to down here. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, Cyclops. I wish I could find that other eye. I mean, it's not surprising I lost it, but... Okay, well. Now, this is what I'm going to obsess over all night now. This is where that other eye is. I found a bunch of other stuff I lost. Nope. Okay, I don't know where that eye is. Guess I'll just draw them on. There's his headstock. All right, where's that black pen? All right, so that's where we're at now. It's pretty blown out, so let's turn off this light. Does that need to come in a little bit? I mean, this is where he started. That might need to be a little bit longer. Well, I'll probably futz with them a little bit more. But he's pretty close to where I'm going to stop, I think. He's got some decent movement. And I'll fix that down there. If that gets stuffed, if the jaw gets stuffed, it'll move real well. It's like Venom. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Might need to still come back a little bit. Yeah, I think he's about where he's going to stop because I got to move on. But next up, I'm going to take them all apart, true them up again. Then I'm going to blow it up to 140%, and then it'll get it to this. And you can see now how much smaller this is than what it needs to be. But that'll take it to the right size. And then I think I'm going to try making a little clay center torso and this. And then I'm going to try pulling a pattern off of that. Because I'm tired of people telling me how much better that is than doing it the way I do it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I think I'm getting pretty close to having the head figured out, and I want to try and get this thing done by midweek next week, so that that I have at least one thing off my plate. Oh, I'll show you the free fur I got at the last puppeteer thing. So this was in a pile, and it's like a faux lambskin, which I think might work pretty well for him. At least one of them. Till I find something. There's enough to do at least one. So, I don't know. It was free. Let's see what it looks like. So if that's the texture on him, I think that'll look pretty good for a snowman. And so then, once this is done, I'll start working on Sven. So we'll see. We'll see where I'm at tomorrow. All right. Any questions or comments? I think I may put a little. No, I'll keep it flat. Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, what's everybody else been up to lately? For the first hour of this, I was just kind of sitting here by myself, so I didn't get to chit chat like I like to. The tape method is almost the exact same thing as the drape method. Yeah, I figure it is. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I also have some other stuff that I've been wanting to try, which I bought when I bought the Foss shape, which is this stuff, press and seal. So it gives me a reason to try it, I guess. And what this is like a little bit easier to use than the tin foil, and it's reusable apparently. So we'll see how this works too. But anyway, this should go once I have this head figured out. The rest of this should go pretty fast because I know pretty much how everything's gonna go. Tried to get on earlier, but my brother called. Yeah, that's what happens to me sometimes too. Is my parents send a call right when I'm starting. Oh, ah. So anyway, yeah. So I'll this will be tomorrow. Is hopefully I'll have the final head that maybe I can start working on the body tomorrow. So that'll be my thing tomorrow. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Sorry, I did just as it got interesting, but at least I accomplished something today. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later.